For staying with us. Here in Lagos State, the House of Assembly says it has no plans to scrap the 37 local council development areas in the state. Chairman of the House Committee on Local Government made this known during a one-day public hearing organized by the legislature. We have a report. Following the controversies surrounding the Supreme Court's judgment affirming financial autonomy of Nigeria's 774 local government areas and the recent move by the Lagos State House of Assembly to amend its local government administration law, reactions have trailed this development as there were notions that the Assembly may be gearing up to scrap the 37 LCDAs in the state on the grounds of the bill mooted by the lawmakers. This is the second public hearing held on the proposed local government administration law of the state, which the lawmakers noted is seeking to enhance how the third tier of government should be administered.
It should be noted that due to the recent judgment of the Supreme Court granting autonomy to the 774 local governments in the nation, the House of Assembly is obligated to abide and act in accordance with the Supreme Court judgment.
Seated are traditional rulers, legal luminaries, civil society organizations and other members of public, all eager to share their thoughts on the proposed law.
We should be very careful in whatever amendment that we are doing. Any amendment in any way that affects that autonomy should no way be talked about at all. Just give them their resources. Let them go and implement their resources. Let their councillors hold them accountable.
Then you look at proposed section 30, where it is said that the House of Assembly can suspend. The House of Assembly cannot suspend. He's an elected person. But assuming without considering that the House of Assembly can make intervention, there must be some condition precedent. Maybe after the members of the council have taken their position, then as a supervisory authority, the House can now say, okay, bring the matter to us, let us see. But to say that the House can of its own say, oh yeah, Chairman, come and account to us, I don't think it is right. When we look at the proposed section 3(2), it says local government chairman shall be elected. With all respect, everything with the LCDA dies with that provision.
Reacting to the bill, which contains 60 clauses, a Lagos-based lawyer, Muiz Banre, faulted some clauses in the bill, stating that the state governor has no power over council chairmen if they misbehave, which was immediately countered by a former lawmaker.
The funding by the Constitution today and the Supreme Court judgment, they are saying that the only person that can deal with the fund of a local government in accordance with the law, that is in the manner deemed fit, is as between the chairman and vice chairman of the council and his ESCO and the councillors. Now again, if you look at subsection 4 of the same section that I said, that it can assign duty signed by the House, by any law of the House or executive directive of the governor. Again, this is very offensive of that decision of the Supreme Court. The import of the Supreme Court decision is simple. The state, the governor cannot do anything as regards their responsibility and their duty. And it is said in that judgment, we look at it, that even where they misbehave, it is their council that can discipline them.
And we are saying House doesn't have power to do so many things again. I know that the present Supreme Court judgment is only about finances. And it doesn't remove all other one. The existence, the establishment of local government still resides with the state. Therefore, we need to be very careful.
LCDAs is particularly the reason we are here. We don't want LCDAs to die.
The continued existence of the 37 LCDAs in the state, which has remained the bone of contention, was thoroughly addressed.
Nobody is killing the LCDA. We need to get that clear. Nobody is killing the LCDA. It is the creation and legacy of our leader. And we are going to make sure it does not die. So at this point, it is a call for every Lagosian to rise up and protect these LCDAs. by reaching out to all our representatives at the national level.
What we have to look at is, let's not confuse that judgment, which is very clear on a particular issue of financial autonomy, with other things like creation of local government. I think once we appreciate the fact that one Supreme Court judgment is talking about the creation of the local additional 37 being incoherent, and one other Supreme Court judgment is talking about the financial autonomy of the local government, we shouldn't mix them together.
The pronouncement of the Justice of the Supreme Court is clear enough. It has handed over the financial autonomy to the local government. And because we also have a responsibility as an House of Assembly, as empowered by the Constitution, Section 7.1, we must adjust our law to reflect the pronouncement of the Justice of the Supreme Court.
The lawmakers assured that every concerns raised and contributions made will be addressed. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos. Action Aid is calling on governments at all levels to support sustainable models for food system in Nigeria. That call was made at the Enugu Youth Summit on agroecology and food system. Senior reporter Bamidele Ajayi has more.
Every Nigerian has a right to healthy meals supported with rich fruit to achieve a balanced diet, but the resources to achieve this is considered not in existence. Achieving a robust roadmap to food satisfaction is among issues discussed at this Enugu Youth Summit on sustainable food production. Program advisors Action Aid Nigeria emphasizes the need to adopt agroecology as a climate-resilient, sustainable approach that incorporates ecological principles into farming practices.
Agroecology is a climate-resilient, sustainable agriculture approach that incorporates ecological principles into farming practices. It emphasizes the sustainable management of natural resources, biodiversity, and the local environment.
Executive Director, South Sahara Development Organization, Stanley Lechuku, opined that agroecology presents a holistic practical pathway for transforming agriculture in Enugu and Southeast region.
Our primary objectives today are threefold. One, to raise awareness about agroecology, equip farmers, especially the youth, with practical knowledge that can be immediately applied in their fields.
Action Aid researcher, in his view, want people to move away from chemical pesticides, claiming that most of them are poisonous to human health.
We have to begin to talk about how to produce crops or even rare animals. We need to be able to do it in tandem with nature so that our efforts or our activities do not trigger hazards.
Enugu State government says it has commenced the establishment of farm estates to create farm clusters in the 260 political wards of the state.
Just yesterday, we finished signing MOU with an investor here in the States who called Right Rabbit for planting 20,000 hectares of fruit cocoa in Amechi Dodo here in Enugu State. And just recently, we distributed solar-powered water pumping machines to farmers.
The summit had participants across the state with the hope that the knowledge impacted will better equip them not to return to their old ways of farming. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News, Enugu.
Parents and guardians have been advised to keep children between the ages of 0 and 2 years away from screens. This formed part of discussions at the conference with the theme, Parenting Without Borders. Senior correspondent Ivy Canham has the details.
There is no doubt that we live in a world where almost every area of the society is experiencing transformation. Parenting in this modern day is not left out, as it has its challenges. These are some of the questions this program themed Parenting Without Borders provides answers to. While the first speaker stressed that children must be taught values that transcend time, the second spoke on identifying the child's talent and passion.
If you teach them today The way you were taught yesterday, you're preparing them for a world that is already gone. What values do you have? People must be kind. People must be helpful. People must have love for God and humanity.
Have you heard of people who were born left-handed and today they are using their right hand? It can't be okay. Neurologically, he's been rewired.
Panel's discussion centered around parents dealing with their traumas, being present in the life of their children, and working environment being conducive for parents, amongst others.
It's important as parents to understand that, you need to deal with your issues and not transfer those issues to your children.
I try to tell my mom a lot of things because I know that there's certain times that I would not be able to do this thing on my own. I'll need her help with it.
As organizations, we should start adopting best practice whereby offices can have child-friendly spaces, nurseries, play areas that where women can bring, or even men can bring their children.
If you know that you want to go to the market, take the boy child along to go to the market. If you are the type, a man who knows how to cook in the kitchen, bring your boy to the kitchen.
If we want to raise children that will become global giants, we need to have a system, because there's a manual for parenting, and that manual thrives on system and structures.
Everyone is from a family, and once you get the family right, the society is right.
The program also identified that new age parenting emphasizes open two-way communications between parents and children.
And although this was a parenting program, we noticed that very few men turned up for the program today. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.